Hello, my fellow Americans. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Have you noticed how silly things have gotten? Just everything just seems to be so out of whack. I mean, it's like the world's turned upside down. I mean, just the level of stupidity and ignorance. Some woman went to some store and she saw a display that used cotton. And she took a video and said how offensive this was, how it was racist. I mean, that's just a little extreme. I mean, is a cotton shirt racist because it's made out of cotton? I mean, some of this stuff is just plain silly, laughable. But what's sad is how many people believe it and how it can go viral. I mean, something as silly as that. We got some real important stuff happening in this country, devastating things like wildfires, hurricanes, millions of people without power, sewage, filthy water running in the streets. And somebody's gonna talk about a decoration made out of cotton that it's racist. I mean, the pendulum's just swung way too far. And they're still talking about the Russians and Trump. And you got all these people on Facebook, impeach Trump. For what? How come they're not saying, convict Hillary? And then she writes that book and just points the finger at everybody else like Bernie Sanders for not helping her. I mean, like I said, this stuff's just laughable. Some days I'm just so thankful that I live out here in the country and I don't have, unless I turn on the one channel and watch the news on the TV, or if I get on the internet and see some of this silliness, if I just leave all that stuff off, I don't have to be bothered by it. Really. And then even here, up in Mount Pilot, they got a homeless problem. I mean, in Eugene and Portland, I guess it's really, really bad, but like I said, just up the road, about an hour away from what I call Mount Pilot, got a homeless problem. And people just don't seem to understand homelessness ain't the problem. It's the symptom of another problem. And they just want to, basically, get these people out of town or kick them out of the county or something. Then I saw a video. There's this guy named Elvis down in L.A., Los Angeles, California. He's building these tiny homes. Started a little Kickstarter or GoFundMe account. Got like $100 grand and was making tiny homes for the homeless people. The homeless people are really happy. But, some of the people in the town didn't like it. They go to the city council, and the city council starts to, kick people out of these shelters and confiscate them. Literally kick them out. Don't let them get their things. I mean, it's like Nazi stormtroopers. All this happening in the land of the free. Oh, land of the free, asterisk, some exceptions. With some exceptions. It's just everywhere you turn. It's just unbelievable. I mean, some of the nonsense going on in the schools. This thing about up in Mount Pilot, once again, the kids in each class have to go to lunch and sit with their classmates. They can't go sit with their friends. That's not allowed. And then, if you want to have a birthday party for your kid, they can't hand out invitations to their classmates at school unless they hand it out to all classmates. I mean, it's just all this thing about inclusion. You know, in the real world, sometimes you just get excluded just because. That's just the way it is. There's only so much room, so much capacity. You know, maybe your view doesn't fit in with the other people's views, so they don't want you. They exclude you. You know, this whole participation trophy nonsense has just really wormed its way through our our society, and so many people are believing in that stuff. It's just basically got us living in idiocracy. And if you haven't seen that movie, you've got to watch Idiocracy. And once again, these studies that come out, if you look at the organization doing the research, more times than not, it's funded by whoever benefits by a positive, by that study being positive for that cause. So, and it just doesn't really matter what it is. I mean, it's gotten to the point where you can't trust anything. I mean, global warming. To me, it'd be real simple. You got them satellites up there. You take a picture every day, and you can let the computer decide, you know, how much the ice is growing or shrinking. It wouldn't be difficult. I'm sure they have that technology there. But of course, you know, we've got political agendas. You got the people who say there's global warming and the people who say there's not. The thing is, personally, I don't really believe in global warming, but and the thing is, I can't trust the data coming out of either side. So I really can't make a real good decision. One thing I did hear though, Rush Limbaugh pointed it out. You know, we've only been doing this stuff for what, measuring for a couple hundred years at best. So how do we know where we are on the scale? I mean, are we in the middle? Are we at one extreme and now nature's going back towards the other extreme? So we don't know. You know, are the oceans really rising? Don't know. I mean, some people say they are, some people say they aren't. Once again, the measurements. But when people start monkeying with the data, leaving things out and using computer models rather than real hard, you know, empirical evidence, you know, everything gets real fuzzy. It's not clear. But the thing is, somehow we've got to restore common sense. And somebody wrote something in Facebook, and my reply was, you know, this is what happens when you elect idiots and then they hire more idiots to run the government organizations. Because that's what's happening. I mean, here, Governor Kate Brown, you know, abortions for everybody. You know, you get to choose if you don't want to identify as a male or female on your driver's license. I mean, okay, why don't we simplify it? You got two X chromosomes, you got two Y chromosomes, or you got some other combination. Put down your if you don't like the terms male, female, but let's just have something that's based in reality, not some conceptual nonsense. I mean, like I said, I think it's real simple. You either got a pole or a hole, you know, and use the right bathroom. Poles here, holes there, you know, real simple. You know, no poles in the holes room, no holes in the poles room. What's so difficult about that? It's just, and the court system. And it just makes no sense. I mean, I think I did a video on the Wheel of Justice years ago. You have to search my YouTube channel for that. But that we really need the Wheel of Justice because so many things are so arbitrary. You know, you can steal $100 worth of merchandise, you know, at a 7-Eleven or Circle K, and they can put you away for a decade or more. But if you steal billions of dollars, you know, you get off. You might not even get charged. No, they'll bail you out. Too big to fail. You know, it's 2017 and we're still talking about the same nonsense from, you know, 2007, 1997, 1987, 1977, 1967, 1957. I mean, I've lived through all that nonsense. Hey, this is weird. What's my phone doing here? Oh, it's giving me an alert. Anyway, do you see where I'm coming from? So, I think the solution is just going to have to use common sense. You got to get out there and vote and vote these idiots out. And above all, wake up and smell the tyranny.